Southern California is well known for offenses that feature a highly advanced aerial attack. Warm weather year-round and an endless supply of athletes makes for a perfect environment to cultivate big-time players. This year, the wide receiver position is arguably the deepest in the state, and one player has thrust himself into the conversation over who's the best. One of the Golden State's top performers in the class of 2012 is Bryce Treggs. Last season, he hauled in 56 receptions for 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Standing just 5'7" and 160 pounds, Treggs is a jitterbug who excels most in the open field. That's due in part to good lineage. He's the son of Brian Treggs. When his father graduated from Cal in the early 90s, he was the school's all-time leader in receiving. With that kind of pedigree, it's not surprising that Bryce has followed in his father's footsteps.
From the time Bryce was in the womb, Brian was pretty much breeding him, and he had sights on what he wanted his son to be. The baby Layette was all sports. So at that point I knew, and then he came out and just showed such passion for just all sports, all athletics, very competitive, high intensity. It's just something that we knew he was destined for.
Basically, as soon as I was born, he had the assumption that I was going to be a football star because of his background and how great he was, and paid off greatly because he basically pushes me to be as good as he was or even better. So he teaches me the stuff that he was taught by his coaches at the collegiate and NFL level.
It was kind of nice to have a son that could kind of not follow in my footsteps, but kind of do some of the same activities that I did, extracurricular, growing up. We started him playing football when he was 5 years old. Started off playing flag football for about 2 years when he first turned 5 here at the local parks, and then from there he started playing Pop Warner, and you know, we saw very own that he was pretty talented.
Like most of the great ones, Bryce excelled almost from the get-go. Despite possessing natural God-given ability, coaches are quick to point out that it's his willingness to put in the work that separates him from the pack.
He's got a lot of God-given ability. He's been fortunate to be coached by his dad, who played the position in college and in the NFL. But I've never seen a kid work 7 days a week, year-round, as hard as he does. Both in the weight room, on the football field, getting faster.
The greatest attribute and the biggest, most, pleasant thing for a coach in regards to Bryce is his work ethic. He just kills it every single day out there in the field, and it's very rare that your star players are the guys that work the hardest, and that's one of the things that he does, and it makes it easy on our coaching staff that we don't have to say, hey man, listen, we need you to pick it up just so all the other kids can see you work hard. He just does that naturally, and it's no surprise he's as good as he is.
One of the things I learned later on in my career is being able to be focused, being able to learn the proper techniques and fundamentals at an early age for him, where I learned those fundamentals at a much later stage in my career. So one of the things I've been able to do with Bryce is being able at a young age really teach him the fundamentals and techniques that go with being an outstanding athlete.
Of course, with the success comes the inevitable recruiting process. His success in the classroom at one of the nation's premier schools has translated into offers from some of the country's top colleges. Treggs' parents were adamant about finding a school that offered an academic curriculum that was on par with the athletic program. St. John Bosco of Bellflower, California has proven to be the perfect fit.
Bryce is a 7-day-a-week work guy. He doesn't just work, at school. He works 7 days a week, and he's tremendous in the classroom. He does a great job. He understands the importance of that. His mother's a teacher, so she understands the importance of, academics and things like that. And when you're offered, scholarships by Notre Dame, Stanford, and Cal, it tells a little bit about what you have.
Being a 4-star athlete, there are going to be a lot of college coaches calling my phone and stuff as soon as April 15 hits. So the biggest challenge for me is just going to be staying relaxed and focusing on getting my team to a CIF championship.
By far the best. It's not even close. We've got a chance to coach a lot of great players in the past, but Bryce is by far the best player I've ever coached. My number one highlight of him is the catch he made against Santa Margarita, and a diving catch in the back of the end zone. It was amazing. He was getting pressed a little bit in the goal line, kind of threw a jump ball to the back pylon, and Bryce went and got him.
As for where he'll end up, Treggs is still very much wide open as to where he will play his college ball. Following his father to Cal or possibly heading east to Notre Dame are both possibilities.
I want to look at academics, of course, because both of my parents are very strong on that. I want to look at early playing time, a winning tradition, and just a good relationship with the coaches.
We're amazed by it. We're very grateful for it. However, he's still just Bryce to us, you know, and we try and keep him grounded in that. He has younger siblings that he's still responsible for and still has to help with their homework regardless of him being a superstar, you know. And so yeah, so definitely it is. And it's, you know, it's a testament to who he is, and I think us as a family.
Bryce Treggs has earned all of the attention that he's gotten. Not many 17-year-olds have highlights and stories plastered across the internet. But despite all the attention, his feet remain planted firmly on the ground, thanks to a strong upbringing.